if you allow, shall we start our Q&A session?
Sure.
Okay. So very first question which people, I don't know for what reason, they keep on asking like, okay, what a typical day of a Scrum Master looks like. So you already work with so many different teams and you yourself was a Scrum Master. So for you, how you take this question, because this is I think one of the question which is also asked in lot of interviews, and even someone who is new to this field, right, they also want to know that okay, what actually a Scrum Master do, because there is a lot of yeah, misconceptions about the role of Scrum Master. So if you can just throw some light, that would be great. Yeah.
Yes. I also had a thought about this, and I also had several people asking me this question. But one thing that I want to highlight up front, um, that the the day of a Scrum Master should be unexpected, and this is my principle. If you wake up in the morning as a Scrum Master, you already know your routines, what's going to happen throughout the day. You might have a boring job. So, what you actually expect as a Scrum Master is the unexpected, right? Oh, there's going to be another problem. Maybe there's going to be a production issue. Maybe the team are silent or not collaborating. Maybe there is an interruption from the senior management. Maybe they just wiped out everything that have been planned by the product owner together with the team in the last quarter. Maybe suddenly the regulators come up with that requirement that needs to be in your product that you didn't really expect. Maybe there's a new team member coming into the team, and then they just starting bringing false information and starting to influence the team to start hating Scrum with passion. The point is, the day of a Scrum Master should be unexpected. And the Scrum Master, I often tell people who wants to be a Scrum Master, don't limit yourself just to look it within teams, because in an organization, a team is just the smallest entity, but oftentimes the problems that the team experience, that the team face, is not really caused by them. A lot of times it might be an external factor, right, that is beyond their control. And that's why the team need us, because there are things that are beyond their control, right? And oftentimes it's a fuzzy blanket term. That thing that is beyond their control might be called the management. But that's a blanket term. Who is the management, really, right? It's a blanket term entity that is not referring to a single individuals, right? And sometimes as a Scrum Master, you need to be an archaeologists really find out who is the management that is disrupting, let's say, all of the plans that the team has, right? Um, Look beyond the team. And a lot of times, the issues, the obstacles the team experience is beyond the team itself. It might be the stakeholders, it might be a commercial user outside of the team. It might be a third party vendor where we need to connect, let's say, to their system. We're using their API, for example, and they might not be as agile as we are. And somehow they might be a bottleneck for the team to deliver value. So look at in a broader perspective. Don't just limit yourself to just teams. And another advice that I often tell Scrum Masters, don't look for the norms, don't look for predictability, don't look for routines. just have this as a principle. There's one thing in Scrum Guide that I think is really important, but a lot of teams, sorry, a lot of Scrum Master often dismiss this. Can I just flash a Scrum Guide, for example?
Yeah, yeah, no
Hang
problem.
on a sec. Okay.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So here in the Scrum Master section, all right. This is a very important part, right? This is a very important sentence. The Scrum Master are true leaders who serve the Scrum team and the larger organization, right? The Scrum Master are true leaders who serve the Scrum team and the larger organization. Now, live that, like embed that in your day to day work. How can you be a leader, right? Leader first, a leader who serve, right? How can you serve not only the team but also the larger organization? It might sound simple, but when I like really ingrain this, there's so many things actually that Scrum Master need to do to serve not the team but also the larger organization. And you can improvise. You can think outside of the box. You will never run out of a job. I think I kind of I'm sorry if I'm like jumping forward here, Sunan, but sometimes I kind of understand that these questions often lead to, oh, what if the team is already self-managing? What do I do as a scrum master? What do I do all day? There's nothing else left for me to do. um, so they're looking for like routines, like a step-by-step predictable schedules of a scrum master. So if you just live ingrain this like in your day to day, there's always something to do. If your team is already self managing, then look at the other organization. Look at the other divisions, the other departments. They need your help. They need your service, right? They may not really understand what Scrum is, what is agile product delivery, or they might be the one that is impeding the team to deliver value, right? If you zoom out, there's still a lot of parts in the organization that still need your service as a Scrum Master. And when you serve them, that should also impact like down to the team. That should improve their effectiveness in delivering value. That's how I would describe it, and especially the last part. If you think like, oh, I've got nothing else to do, like throughout the day, I think I'm done. I've already done everything as checklisted. I've got nothing else to do. Don't stop there. Like zoom out. There's other parts in the organization that might need your help. And the Scrum Master also wears several different hats. Not only they are working with the organization beyond just teams, but they also wear several different hats, and several of those hats are prominent here in the Scrum Guide. For example, there's the coaching hat, there is the facilitator hat, there is the leading leader hat, and then there is a trainer hat. There's an advisor advising Scrum implementation within the organization. So they wear different kinds of hats, right? So in some cases, you might be running a training, maybe for a newly onboarded employees. They may not understand Scrum, or maybe they have a false perception about Scrum from the previous company, right? Um, and sometimes you might also run, let's say, a 1 day training for the business users because they may not know how to engage with the teams. And when I say training, it's not only limited to Scrum itself. You may run like a product management or product visioning or product inception training or workshop between the Scrum team and the business users, right? So you might be training at one point, right? And you might do that on ad hoc basis. You might be mentoring an individuals. You might be coaching several people. You might be working with the senior leaders, creating like the grand design of how can we scale up agility and Scrum within this organization, right? Um, so yes, there's also hats that you wear, and there's also multiple people, multiple divisions that you need to work with, that you need to serve within the organization. So the day of a Scrum Master, I would say it's unpredictable,
Absolutely.
which is good.
Great. Yeah. So I just want to add one or two points over here, Joshua, if you allow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, as you rightly said, most of the time, Scrum Master done this mistake that they fill their calendar Outlook completely from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Uh, so I would advise, like, apart from few events which you already know that okay, daily Scrum is going to happen, or let's say if you have to do a preparation for your retrospective and all those things. Apart from those events, make your Outlook free. Your agenda should not be filled. Uh, that's the worst thing which you can do as a Scrum Master, that you fill your complete day with this meeting and that meeting, right? And yeah, I mean, if you will be free, people will come to you for their issues, their challenges, and all those things. And you have time to at least see your team, where they are heading, what are the challenges which they have, the issues, the conflict which they have, right? So please do not do that. Most of the time I saw Scrum Master doing that mistake. They just fill their 9 to 5. Take out some time for yourself, right? Go out with your team or play some in the evening, maybe some table tennis or something like that. Utilize that team to build that bond, connection with not only with your team, but with maybe other teams, right? Because that informal, yeah, I mean, get together will definitely going to help you. Do not restrict yourself with only teams. Maybe go to different divisions, as you mentioned, right? uh, just explore people. People should know you, and you should know the different people in your organization, right? So I think, yeah, that's wonderful, Joshua. Thank you for that.